Most business owners can't afford a strategy coach every week, but what if you could build one in under 10 minutes for free? If you know how to use email and Google Docs or Word, you can create an AI based executive coach that actually understands your business. Check it out. Welcome back. I'm Zack from InnerDev Solutions. We help businesses streamline their processes using custom no code tools so you can focus on what matters most. To learn more, you can visit our website, innerdevsolutions.com, or use the link in the description below. Let me show you exactly how to set this up in Relay.app step by step. If you want to expand it, there are paid plans that I do highly recommend, but this one simple automation can run for free. To get started, click the link in the description below or go to this link here. We're building a weekly AI-powered strategy coach that sends you personalized insights and questions based on your business pain points. Once you're into Relay, we can go up here and click New Workflow, and you should always label your workflows so it's easy to reference in the future. We can call it executive coach, strategy coach, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but something that actually makes sense to whatever we're building. Before we get into actually building the automation, there's a few things that we need to do. And these are the parts that will take you more time and that you're actually going to improve on over time. The actual automation is really simple. It's basically 3 steps. There's going to be a trigger and then 2 steps to follow that. Before that, there is a couple things. So I mentioned that we need some sort of knowledge or context about your company that we need to provide to the AI model. And we also have to create a prompt. Both of these things you can improve on over time and change, and I will walk you through each of them right now. My preference for the knowledge base is to use Google Docs. That way you can just, whenever you want, to go in and update your knowledge base or your business brief and improve it for your company, and it will automatically sync and update in Relay. You can also write it in Word or in a text file directly within Relay.app. But then if you're going to go make changes, you have to go in and either re-upload the Word file or make the changes directly in Relay, where, as I mentioned, Google Docs, you can just sync it. That's the easiest route for me. I have a brief already set up in Google Docs, and your brief can look however you want. You can provide as much or as little information as needed, but basically high level, you can think of it as pitching to an investor. You just need to get on paper or on a document the core elements of your business, who you are, what your core services are, the scale of your business, what your org chart looks like, who's your target market, maybe your competitors would make sense to have in there, maybe your growth plans, anything relevant to your business and where your business is headed. It would make sense on a regular basis to come in here and make notes of it. And it's not only going to be helpful for the AI model and for your executive coach, this is going to be a helpful exercise for you to go through on a regular basis and update things. And it helps you create a path and goals and outlines for your business. And then if I scroll down to the bottom here, the last thing I've added in is a pain points header. And on any given basis, if it's even daily, come in here, add in some of the pain points and some additional context to your business, because in this specific automation, we are actually going to focus on the pain points within the business. But really, you can add in anything here, anything that you're struggling with or anything that you would like additional coaching on or assistance on, add it into this document here so that you can give the AI model or the LLM as much context about your business that's relevant as possible. The second part to this is we have to create a prompt. And now I already have one. So in a few minutes, when we get to that step, I will copy and paste it in. Again, this is going to be something that's a little bit more specific to your business. The general framework will be relatively consistent, but whatever you're looking for it to provide you with needs to be custom to your business. And we'll get into that in a little more detail. So at this point in time, what I would recommend is even creating a really simple 1-page or even bullet points brief about your business. And then we can continue on from there. But over time, you can get something that looks a little bit more like this and has more detail and is more in depth. So we'll go back into Relay. The first step, what I'm going to do is you can really use any trigger that you want, But what I'm going to do is run it on a schedule. Every Friday, I want this executive coach to run. Maybe it's a monthly thing that you want to do. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to go down here to scheduled, and we are going to start a single run. We come over here, we can choose the date of the first instance. I'm going to set it up so it runs every Friday at 8 a.m. That's fine. And we can go here and select weekly on Friday. You can select a different time if you need as well. Next step is we'll click this add step. We'll select the AI and we're going to prompt any model. Now the expected response, I want to select text and I'm going to choose rich text in this case. And now, as I mentioned, I already have the prompt set up. So I'm just going to copy and paste it in and I will quickly go through it with you. I've got 4 different sections. We have a role, we have a knowledge. I'll elaborate on that in a moment. We have instructions. So this is where you'll probably spend most of your time instructing the AI model to perform certain tasks or do certain things. And again, I'll go through this in a moment. And then your desired output format. In our case, it's going to be really simple. You can copy this basically word for word and add to it later on, but we're going to say you are an executive coach and chief strategy officer. Your primary objective is to provide strategic guidance, actionable advice, and thought-provoking questions. Again, add more detail and context to this role if you need, but that should be pretty much good enough to get started. Knowledge, basically this kind of in line with the instructions, but we're just going to say, read the full knowledge base provided. And my knowledge base is going to be called this Maple Ride Accounting Company Brief. So as you've seen, this is just a made up company that I created, but we're instructing it to look up this company brief. And basically the way we do that is we go down to the knowledge, we'll select it, and you can see the different sources currently available. They plan to add more, but we can go into this documents in Google Docs. I'm going to select this document and I'll just hit continue and attach. So now we can see Maple Ridge Accounting - Company Brief, and I've got that lined up properly. And something else important to note, I have stated to read the full knowledge base provided. If you go into Relay.app and go into the documentation, there is additional details on how the knowledge base actually works within Relay. There's a bunch of details here, but if I scroll down, here's the using knowledge section. There's 3 different ways. It can search a file for similarity. It can search for a file for a literal match. And then what we're instructing it to do is read the entire file because we want it to have all of the context. That's what we're going to worry about in this case. And if you scroll down, they have more details on each of those different types of ways that it searches or reads the knowledge base. Go back into Relay, and as I mentioned, I've instructed it to read through this whole knowledge base, and now I have the specific instructions. I'm going to reiterate this is read the full knowledge base before replying. Whatever it is that you would like the coach to focus on, whatever help you need in your business, you need to get more specific here. And this is probably where you'll spend the most time between creating the actual knowledge base and document that's about your business and coming up with the different instructions that you want to basically extract from the LLM. But if you don't have any ideas, something like this would be beneficial to your company, you can use exactly what I provided here and it will get things started. Like I said, over time, your business is going to change. So you'll want to update that document, the knowledge base, and your business is going to change. So there's going to be different instructions that you want to provide the prompt so that it gives you different results. Other than that, we're just going to paste in the prompt, add the knowledge base, and then we want to select the model that we're going to use. Anthropic's, this Claude 4 Sonnet seems to be pretty good. They're all relatively good. I would recommend going through and testing them. They have different prices, and you can see by the different dollar symbols here which ones are cheaper and more expensive. For this case, I'm just going to use Gemini 2.5 Flash. It seems to do a decent enough job, but I highly recommend testing different ones out. I've got rich text, and in the output format, I'm just saying use headings and bulleted lists. I'm keeping it simple. And then should a person review the AI output? No, we're going to send it to ourselves. And then if it can't generate a valid output, we just want it to notify us that it's not working for some reason. If I can hit done, I'll go into the email step. if you have Google or Microsoft, you can send yourself an email. You'll have to connect to your account. It's pretty straightforward. It will guide you through. I'm going to go into Gmail, send an email, and as I mentioned, you'll have to connect to Gmail or Microsoft if you haven't already. I'm just going to send from here, send to myself, and then I'm just going to put executive coach update, and maybe I will add in today's date as well. I'll go current date and time, and I'll just put the date. A couple other things I want to do is I'm going to add in prompt, and I'm going to add in company context. And all I'm going to do here is just so that I can easily reference it. I'm going to go into Google Docs and copy the link, and I can paste it. And then the prompt, select the link to this workflow. And then that way I can easily come in here and change the prompt if needed, but I have it right in the email. Then I'm going to send myself, add a few dashes there to separate things. And then I'm going to click this data symbol, AI output, and we're just going to pass in the AI output. If you want to add it to a label, you can, but other than that, I have things pretty much ready to go. Use a test run here, but once you've tested it and you're happy with the output, make sure that you enable it and turn it on. And then that way, every Friday or whatever date you pick, it will automatically run and send you the email. Go ahead, click the start test run, and we will start now. And you can see that it is running the AI prompt, and then it's going to send me an email. In a moment here, I'll navigate to my email and show you what that looks like. Okay, you can see that the prompt finished running, that the email was sent, and now I have clicked into the email it sent me. The company contacts, if I click that, it goes directly to the Google Doc. Here will take me back to my workflow in the edit mode, and then that way I can update the prompt if need be. But down below, we can see that it's responded. It has each kind of pain point summarized with actionable solutions and strategic questions. And now we can read through this and be able to make any types of changes, updates to the company that we want based off of this. To take it a step further, what I would recommend doing, once you read through it, and if you decide that there's a specific topic that you want to discuss more, or a question, or something that you want to look into in more detail, or if you just want to take the whole email and chat about it, go to a chatbot, ChatGPT, Gemini, Anthropic, whatever you use, it doesn't matter. And you can copy in the entire email or just copy in the specific points relevant. And you can go in here, add the details in. I would also recommend adding in that Google Doc. If you are using a Google Doc, you can go down here, hit the plus icon, and add from Google Drive for the context. Add in the topic that you want to elaborate on, sit in, and then you can have a chat conversation and be able to go even further with the details that you received. My recommendation is this is going to be an iterative process, meaning that you are going to not just set it and forget it. You are going to actually make updates to, as I've mentioned many times, the context of your company, that knowledge base, and to this prompt, depending on what you want it to provide you with. Now, you can even go further with this. You can send this to different employees within your company. You can send this to yourself in Slack if you use that instead. There's a lot of different ways that you can modify and customize this, and you don't have to just use it as an executive coach or to look at different pain points. If you want an executive coach to focus on something else, you could duplicate this and make the changes necessary in your prompt to go even further into certain other details. You have full flexibility to create any type of coach or business partner that you want within your business and receive updates on any given timeline. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials in the future.